Some stakeholders are urging the government to implement robust and decisive measures to tackle the country's persistent waste and sanitation challenges. This, they say, is crucial in resolving the sector's ongoing issues, especially as cities and communities continue to struggle with poor waste management and increasing failed. ChannelOne News' Philip Nilate reports.
Despite the government's ongoing efforts to ensure a cleaner nation, including the introduction of several policies and initiatives, sanitation challenges continue to worsen. Institutions mandated to oversee the sector appear to be underperforming, even as the private sector expresses readiness to support government efforts. In a bid to adopt international best practices, top management officials of the ChannelOne group of companies embarked on a learning visit to Singapore, one of the cleanest cities in the world, to study its sanitation management model. The visit highlighted the critical role played by Singapore's National Environment Agency (NEA), which operates under the Ministry of Sustainability and the Environment. The NEA ensures a high-quality living environment for current and future generations by regulating air and water pollution, as well as hazardous substances and toxic industrial waste. These efforts are driven by a strategy of prevention, strict enforcement, and ongoing monitoring. Board member of the NEA, Abubakar bin Mutno, underscored the agency's significant authority and effectiveness in maintaining Singapore's sanitation standards.
It's a national environment agency. We have a lot. I mean, you're talking about the green, weather, rubbish, mosquito breeding, even how you manage the body, their body and so on. So we need to have an agency to make sure that help out with the environment ecosystem. Having that agency or having that state board, a body who are able to understand, appreciate the landscape, the challenges that the country have, and then come up with a regulation, come up with a standard operating procedure, a process that goes also into incentive scheme to ensure that everybody are on board. So having a NEA actually is a very good dedicated body.
Inspired by NEA's powers, stakeholders in the sanitation sector are demanding for the establishment of a dedicated sanitation authority. Dr. Peter Dagadu, Managing Director of Waste Landfill Company, emphasized the urgent need for a centralized body to regulate and enforce sanitation policies effectively.
A central coordinating authority is the way to go, and that is what several countries that have been intentional on solid waste management have encouraged. A central authority, or for Ghana, for a waste management authority, would be not only should not be considered as a mere a bureaucratic expansionary activity, but it's a strategic imperative that will centralize leadership and then coordinate. That it will address the fragmented nature of how several agencies and ministries all deal with waste management in Ghana.
The delegation also toured the Marina Barrage, a facility under Singapore's Public Utilities Board. Designed for water shortage, the dam also functions as a flood control mechanism and a recreational hub. Another stop was our campus hub, an integrated community complex that merges sports, culture and public service, and sustainability initiatives. The team was also given a guided tour of its eco-digester system, which uses microbial digestion to convert food waste into water, liquid nutrients, and solid organic fertilizer, demonstrating innovative methods for sustainable waste processing. Singapore has contracted 3 major companies to manage waste and keep the country clean: 800 Super Waste Management, Alba NWH Smart City Private Limited, and Cora Environment Private Limited. The ChannelOne team had the privilege of learning from Alba WH and 800 Super Waste Management. Following presentations by these companies, Doris Kweko Ejay, Managing Director of Zoom Lion Private Services, proposed that Ghana adopt a direct waste billing system where waste collection fees are collected directly from citizens to improve service delivery.
Very brilliant system they have here in Singapore, which is working for them. So it's making the waste contractors very effective. With a system where the government takes the payment of waste directly from the citizens, and then they rather pay the contractors.
Dr. Priscilla Addo, Operations Manager at Sunyani Integrated Recycling and Compost Plant Limited, called on metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies to help identify and train local waste collectors. She stressed the need for public education on waste segregation and recycling best practices.
So I think sensitization has to be one thing, and we need to educate the public and let them know. We can also have a way of organizing the informal sector. And now people are doing it on individual basis, individual interest and all that. But when the assembly identify these people and then formalize them, and then we have a better way of controlling them, educating them, and then they also know the essence. Some people are just collecting it so that they can make money from it. But when they get to know that, for instance, plastics that they pick could be used to produce a reflector, socks. Sometimes they hear it and they marvel at that. So if the assemblies can identify these people, formalize them, educate them, more sensitization, it will help.
Singapore incinerates 90% of its waste, with only 10% going to landfills. Although this process generates energy, the primary goal is to conserve the country's limited land resources. The team visited Keppel Cigars Tuas Waste-to-Energy Plant, Singapore's fifth incineration facility, to observe this approach firsthand.
The primary objective of waste-to-energy plant is really treating the waste, right? To actually overcome our waste issue, our landfill is out. We don't have enough land, especially for Singapore. That's where we look into this solution, reduce the volume of waste.
The delegation also toured Nastil, Singapore's leading steel manufacturer and recycler. The company produces reinforcement steel primarily from recycled scrap metals, supporting the country's construction and infrastructure sectors. This learning visit provided the Jospon team with critical insight to how Singapore has successfully managed its waste and maintained environmental cleanliness through strong government commitment, heavy investment, and effective public-private partnerships. If Ghana's government shows similar commitment, the transformation of the country's waste management system could be significant. Singapore has also drastically reduced the use of plastics, further enhancing its environmental sustainability efforts.
We are in Singapore exploring their innovative waste management approaches, particularly when it comes to waste reduction and then the plastic waste menace. We've come here, we've had meetings and discussions, and all the food that have been served to us, very minimal plastic used, except the water bottle that we saw as plastic. Every other packaging material is made of paper. We are encouraging our industries, manufacturing industry, to consider packaging like this. These have been used and proven their potence is proven here already, so we can explore that in Ghana to reduce the amount of single-use plastics within our environment.
Reporting for Channel One News, I am Philip Nilate, Singapore.